For as long as I've been gaming, I've been finding spots to take in the scenery. And for as long as I've been burning grass, I've been combining the two. These are some of the best smoke spots in gaming that I have found over the years. The Blacksmith in Castle Crashers has always been such a cozy spot to stop and whip out the Alaskan thunder while you pillage and plunder. It's the place you return to time and time again that's away from the action of the currently sieged castle. The music will serenade you. The music will serenade you with one of Castle Crasher's beautiful tracks, and here in the Ark is where you'll find all your pets, and who doesn't love smoking flora while playing with fauna? But if animals keep smoking all of your animal cookies, roll some flour in the flowery fields. Taking out bees is like picking out seeds and stems. Once you're done, you'll have a much better experience. Make sure to pass it to the gray guys and the king though. They're not in a rush or anything. So this next one's pretty special to me because it sits at the top of my all-time sesh spots. Well, I'm cheating. It's actually 2 spots, but in the same game. And that game is Dark Souls 3. Central Irithyll. This little courtyard bonfire with the immaculate city just looming overhead, and even more stunning, the pale shadowed castle in the distance. The way that it looks like a flurry of snow is in the air, the way that those blue-green clouds perfectly reflect the color of the moonlight, the whooshing and whirling of wind, and nothing more. The Boreal Valley is perfectly peaceful and the most beautiful place in any game that I've ever played. I can't shut up about this place. It feels so lonely out here. It looks as cold feels, yet I so badly want to come here and cross that magical barrier myself. I'd be sure to sit by the bonfire while I sip some bottled fire and smoke some fire from a bottle. Archdragon Peak is the single most stunning video game reveal that I have ever seen. Honestly, better than the Siofra Riverwell and the underground cities. The contrast from darkness of the last 3 games and this incredibly brilliant blue sky is like nothing I've ever felt in a game before. Anywhere on this mountaintop is the right place to become a Lord of Cinder. And I say that, but it actually made me really uneasy feeling the first time I arrived here because it really felt like I didn't belong in this spot. Like this was reserved for mystical and mythical beasts that have no need for warmth or civilization. And I don't see any no smoking signs, but I get the feeling that nobody here is going to need to borrow your lighter. I love this place so much. FromSoft did a great job creating a scene that feels like a crisp winter morning. Do you know how you can tell what time of day it is by the sky and the position of the sun and the light being cast over the world? I can feel that Archdragon Peak is a perpetual crisp morning. Mornings that never seem to last anywhere but here, at the very peak of the world. What better spot to light one up and have an existential crisis while you think about how insignificant it all is? The entire game of Oblivion could be in this spot, but there is one specific place in the Imperial City that I found years and years ago that I've visited for a smoke break every time I've replayed the game. There's a little alcove in the Marketplace district that's always been my retreat from the hustle and bustle of the busy market. Well, not really busy market. Oblivion's NPC restrictions are quite funny. The reason I love this spot in particular is because it's somewhere tucked away enough to not be in the center of town, but it's still in the capital city shopping center where you can walk back right into the streets and not realize that you've been walking around the marketplace for 25 minutes looking for Borba's Goods and Stores, which is in Shadenhall. Speaking of Shadenhall, I also have to mention this very specific spot that I always return to, located on this little peninsula that overlooks a covered bridge. This rock provides a perfect view over the water and allows you to soak up the scenery of the most beautiful town in Oblivion. Skingrad gets an honorable mention, but Shadenhall really is just so pretty to look at while I prepare a bowl of that skunky skooma. Alright, fine. I'll do Skyrim as well. Any of the loading screens, because what else are you gonna do? No. Blackreach, of course. But that's the obvious answer. Who wouldn't want to trip balls here? To be more unique, I'm going to say the island just off the coast of the town of Dawnstar. Maybe after taking out the local Horker population. Dawnstar has always been my favorite town in Skyrim, and the one that exudes the most Skyrim energy to me. Skyrim is supposed to be one of the coldest regions in Tamriel, and Dawnstar is a winter wonderland that I've always enjoyed visiting over the years when I get loot from that glitched chest. The island overlooks the warm little town, and it makes me feel very cozy. Now I just gotta ask the Altmer to make me a malachite pipe that won't shatter in the cold. Every single one of the maps from Spyro the Dragon could be here, but I had to narrow it down. Spyro is a very comforting game, so it serves nicely to soothe your panic attacks when you misread the label and accidentally take 10 100mg gummies thinking that they were 100mg total. I actually didn't play the originals, but I played the remake, and the whole game is just full of charm. It's such a beautiful game, and the art style makes me so cheerful. I mean, how could it not? It's bright, flashy colors, and it's a mystical wonderland where dragons soar. Anyway, for the spot to take a drag with a dragon, I chose this little sunken-in library in Dark Hollow. It's got everything you need when you're as high as a dragon, so grab a book, a candle, a pen, or some papers, and take a little break. An honorable mention is the starting area, the Artisan. High hedges and bushes are always just really cool to me for some reason, but chilling here in Zine the Za before you start your playthrough is highly recommended. Okay, I really like this game, so let me do a couple more. The level where you fight Toasty, called Toasty, has a lovely orange sunset that really shows off the bold color palette that this game uses. Or, if you're more into Sunset Sherbert, try out the Haunted Towers for a perfectly dusky floating island that will have you floating like a haunted tower. Yeah, that one wasn't very good. I'm gonna cut that one out. How could you shoot yourself into space with an eighth of Floodspore Kush without a proper squat to pop? Halo has an endless amount of sci-fi dream locations that I would love to stop and light up at, but I think the place that drew me in over the years the most was the beach of Zanzibar from Halo 2, or Last Resort from Halo 3. I love this map, and other than Blood Gulch, I think it's the first map that I think of when I think of Halo multiplayer. The palm trees make the industrial wind generator machine not so cold feeling, and if I were stationed to work on Halo, I'd want the seaside factory of Zanzibar to take my smoke breaks on lunch. Also, I just thought about it. Imagine how frickin' cool it would be to watch this wheel go around while you're stoned out of your frickin' gourd. Just imagine what kind of Zaza, or exotic for long, that an elite can grow. I bet elites are smoking baby arms. I know the Arbiter is a regular at Marathon Meds. But again, Halo's just a beautiful game, and it's really hard to pick one location over the whole series. So I'll do another. And just like Spyro, I'll probably do more on this series in the future. Even though it's in shambles, ODST's New Mombasa at night is such a damn vibe. The warm glow of orange lights against the dark cityscape really make me crave some blunts full of grunts. I also feel like ODST can always use some more love, so I wanted to dab it in with Halo if I had a chance. So those were 5 smoke spots that I found in video games. Leave your own in the comments and subscribe if you want to. It would really help me out to get to 500. I'll more than likely do more of these videos in the future because I've had this idea since I started partaking 8, almost 9 years ago, but now I'm gonna go play Spyro 2 and hopefully find some more spots along the way. See ya!